By Friday, clear this chair. Mama BC said it in front of everybody. The words landed harder than a slap. The standing fan was pushing hot air around the salon, moving the smell of air, cream, sweat, and burnt generator fuel from one corner to another. A client sat in Zainab's chair with half of her braids done, one side neat, the other side rough. Outside, horns were shouting on the Abuja road. Inside, nobody spoke. Zainab held the comb so tight her fingers hurt. Mama BC, I said I would pay. Before we continue, if you are new to my YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, and comment where you are listening from and share the story with your friends. Let's continue. Mama BC folded her arms over her big wrapper. You have said it for 2 weeks. Promise does not pay chair rent. Money pays chair rent. Friday, not Saturday. Act Friday. The client looked at Zainab through the mirror, not with pity, with worry. Worry was worse. Zainab forced a smile. Auntie, don't mind her. I will finish your hair. But the woman was already standing up. No, no, let me go. I have somewhere to be. She pulled the half-made braids loose with angry fingers. I don't like tension near my head. Then she left. Just like that, the little money for the day walked out into the heat. Mama BC bent down and tapped the cracked blue salon chair with her long nail. This chair is not family land. If you cannot keep it, another girl will sit here by Monday. Zainab looked at the chair and felt her throat go dry. The blue leather on the armrest was torn. Foam was peeping out like old bread. She used to hate that chair. It looked poor. It looked tired. Oh, but it was still the one place in Abuja that was truly hers for a few hours every day. If she lost it, she would start again from nothing. When Mama BC walked away, Amina came close and lowered her voice. Amina was 24, slim, quiet, always neat, even when things were bad. She walked 2 chairs from Zainab and tied her scarf the same way every day. Amina did not look like someone chasing big life. She looked like someone carrying a heavy load and refusing to drop it. How much do you still owe? Amina asked. 40,000 for the chair, 22 for house rent. Small light bill, data debt. Everything is just standing on my neck. Amina winced. Come with me for that home service on Saturday. The bride from Gwarimpa. Her aunt called again. If we do it well, we can get more jobs from that family. Zainab gave a short laugh. It did not sound happy. More jobs, she said. That is always the answer. More jobs, more suffering, more transport, more smiling for people that price your handwork like tomatoes. Amina did not smile back. Slow money is not sweet, I know, but it stays. Zainab looked away. That was the problem. She did not want money that stayed small. She wanted money that changed the room the moment she entered. Money that bought a sea, soft bed, iPhone, good perfume, wigs in boxes, pictures people would zoom into with envy. She was tired of calculating transport before buying food, tired of acting okay when her slippers were biting her skin, tired of hearing, manage first. Poor people love that word, manage. Zainab was tired of managing. During the break, while she sat behind the salon and opened Instagram, her screen was cracked across one corner, but the women inside the phone still looked perfect. Smooth skin, airport videos, fine cars, hotel robes. Soft life only, one caption said. Another girl stood in front of a mirror and wrote, If you are pretty and still suffering, you are doing something wrong. Zainab stared at that one for a long time, heat pressed against her face. Somewhere nearby, suya smoke drifted into the air. Her stomach made a small sound because she had only taken tea since morning. Still, she used a last data bundle to watch another video. A girl she knew from secondary school was now posting from Kigali. then Dubai, then London. Same girl who once borrowed sandal from her. Zainab whispered, God, even one chance. Are there just one? You are talking to your phone again. She looked up fast. It was Madame Rowley, one of the salon's big customers. She wore dark glasses even though she was under shade. Her perfume arrived before the rest of her. Sweet, heavy, expensive. She always came with polished nails, soft wigs, and stories that made everybody listen. Zainab stood up at once. Good afternoon, ma. Madame Rowley sat down like a queen who was tired of walking among ordinary people. Install this wig well for me, I beg. I have dinner by 7 and I don't want nonsense. As Zainab walked, Madame Rowley watched her face in the mirror. Why do you look like somebody died? She asked. Zainab tried to laugh it away. Nothing, ma. Lies? Madame Rowley clicked her tongue. Pretty girls should not wear struggle on their forehead like this. It is bad branding. The words should have annoyed Zainab. Instead, they pulled something loose inside her. She heard herself saying, I'm just tired, ma. I walk. I try. It is like Abuja has locked its door against me. Madame Rowley went quiet. Then she said, what if I told you some doors open fast? Zainab's hand slowed. Madame Rowley's voice dropped lower. Not every woman has to suffer before she shines. Some men like to help. Apartment, car, trips, business support. But they don't pick foolish girls. They pick girls who know how to carry themselves. Amina, who was sweeping close by, stopped moving for 1 second. Just 1 second. Then she continued. Zainab swallowed. What kind of help? Madame Rowley smiled at her own face in the mirror. The kind that changes your life before people finish laughing at you. Something hot and sharp moved through Zainab's chest. She should have asked more questions. She knew that. But hunger is a wicked thing. Not just hunger for food, hunger for rest, hunger for respect, hunger to stop looking like your whole life can scatter because one customer stands up. Madame Rowley opened her small handbag and brought out a card. No company name, just a number and one address in Metama. Dinner tonight, she said. 8 o'clock. If you go, wear something simple. Don't act wild and listen more than you talk. Zainab took the card. Her fingers were shaking. Amina waited until Madame Rowley stepped outside to answer a call. Then she came near Zainab so fast the broom almost fell. Don't go, Amina said. Zainab frowned. You heard. I heard enough. You always hear enough. Amina's jaw tightened. I'm serious. Don't go. Zainab slipped the card into her bra. Easy for you to say. You like suffering. Amina stared at her. Heart flashed through her eyes, then anger. I don't like suffering. I just don't want anybody owning my neck. Zainab gave a dry laugh. Owning my neck? Amina, please. You think rich men are just giving money for nothing. And I don't know. I'm not a child. Knowing is not the same as escaping, Amina said quietly. That line sat between them. The fan kept turning. A dryer clicked on. Somebody outside shouted the price of oranges. Abuja moved like nothing important was happening. But something important was happening. Zainab could feel it. Amina leaned closer. My cousin did this kind of arrangement in Port Harcourt. At first, she was posting bags and hotel food. Later, she could not even go to church without asking permission. I'm not your cousin. No, you are more stubborn. Zainab looked away, but Amina kept talking. I am begging you as your friend. Let us do that bridal job on Saturday. Let us save. Mama Bisi told me she may sell one old chair next month. We can buy it together and start small. It will be hard, yes, but it will be ours. Ours. The word should have sounded safe. Instead, to Zainab it sounded slow, dusty, tired. She picked up the edge control and pressed it down too hard. I don't want old chair life, Amina. I don't want to be 40 and still smelling like hair glue. Amina stepped back as if the words had hit her body. For the first time that day, Zainab felt shame, real shame, but pride moved faster. By evening, the sky had turned deep orange over the road. Zainab stood in the tiny toilet behind the salon and changed clothes. She wore a fitted black dress she borrowed last Christmas and silver earrings she had once promised herself never to sell. She used the last drop of perfume in a fake designer bottle. Her heart was beating too hard. On the small shelf above the sink sat a powder, a comb, and the cracked blue chair receipt Mama Bisi had thrown at her earlier. She folded the paper once, then twice, and pushed it into her bag, just in case. When she stepped out, Amina was waiting near the gate. Zainab, her voice was soft now. No fight, no insult, just worry. Zainab kept walking. Amina caught her wrist. Please just answer one question. If the help is clean, why is it always in private? Zainab pulled free. Because poor people ask too many questions. The words came out colder than she planned. Amina's face changed. Not anger this time. Sadness. Okay, Amina said. Then ask this one for me. Whatever he gives you, will it still be yours when he is angry? Zainab did not answer. She entered the ride. Maitama was bright and quiet in a way that annoyed her. Clean roads, tall gates, security men who looked like they knew other people's secrets. The restaurant was inside a private building with cold air that kissed her skin the moment she entered. It smelled like polished wood and money. She hated that she loved it. Chief Tunde Bello was already there. He looked about 50, maybe a little less. Clean white kaftan, gold wristwatch, calm face. Not the loud type. That almost made him more dangerous. He did not stand up fast. Oh, he did not try to touch her. He only looked at her for a long moment and said, So, you are Zainab. His voice was gentle. That scared her more than if he had been rough. Yes, sir. Sit. She sat. Chief Tunde asked simple questions. Where she worked, how long she had been in Abuja, what she wanted from life. Nobody had ever asked that last one like it could actually happen. Zainab answered more than she planned. I want rest, she said at last. I want to stop being one bad week away from disgrace. Chief Tunde nodded once. That is honest. Then he slid a thin brown folder across the table. There is an apartment in Woos too, he said. Furnished, a car too if things go well. Better phone, better clients, better life. I don't like noise, Zainab. I don't like games. I help fully, but I expect order. Her mouth went dry. Till, what kind of order? Chief Tunde opened the folder to one page and tapped it with one finger. His nail was neat. His hand did not shake. When I call, you answer. When I need you, you come. No disappearing. No secret boyfriend. No foolish friends filling your head. If I am investing in your comfort, I will not compete with chaos. Zainab felt cold under the AC. Inside the folder was a printed agreement, and on top of it sat a key, small, silver, shining under the restaurant light. For one wild second, all she could see was that key, not paper, not warning, not danger, just the key, a door, a room, a new life. Then her phone began to ring inside her bag. Amina. Chief Tunde looked at the bag, then at her. Answer it if you want, he said softly. But after tonight, Zainab, your choices will start to cost more. Zainab did not answer Amina's call. She watched the phone ring until it stopped. Then she looked back at the silver key on the table and the paper inside the folder. The air in the room was cold, but sweat still sat under her arms. Somewhere behind her, Soft music was playing. Plates touched, glass clinked. Other people were eating like normal life was still normal. Chief Tunde folded his hands. I do not force people, he said, but I do not repeat myself. If you want struggle, go back to struggle. If you want a different life, take it with open eyes. Open eyes. That sounded fair. That was the dangerous part. He was not dragging her. He was letting her choose the thing that could trap her. Zainab looked at the paper again. Some words were simple, some were not, but the meaning was clear enough. He would provide. She would be available. No public shame, no boyfriend, no questions, no excuses. Her chest felt tight. Then she remembered Mama Bisi's voice. By Friday, clear this chair. She remembered the half finished client, the heat, the fan blowing hot air, the shame in the mirror. Then she remembered the silver key. Chief Tunde pushed a pen toward her. Poverty is loud, Zainab. Comfort is quiet. Decide which sound you want in your ears. That line sat deep in her. She picked up the pen. Her fingers shook once. Then she signed. Chief Tunde smiled, but not like a happy man. More like a man who had expected this from the start. Good, he said. Now we can stop pretending. The words hit her strange, but before she could think too much, he slid the key to her side of the table. The key was cool in her hand, small, shiny, powerful. For one moment, it felt heavier than her whole life. 3 days later, Zainab stood inside a one-bedroom apartment in Wooster and could not speak. The floor was clean enough to reflect light. The AC hummed softly. The curtains were thick and cream-colored. A new mattress sat on the bed like a promise. There was a smart TV on the wall, a standing mirror taller than her, two shopping bags on the table. One held a new phone box, the other held clothes with tags still on them. She touched the kitchen counter. Smooth, cold, real. Her eyes filled with tears so fast she almost laughed, not from sadness, from shock. She walked from room to room, touching things like they might vanish. The sofa, the wardrobe handle, the window blind, the key in her palm. She had never held a house key that belonged to a place this fine. Chief Tunde stood behind her, calm as always. I don't like noise, he said. So no loud friends, no random visitors. The driver downstairs will take you where you need to go. Send your measurements to my assistant and keep your phone on. Zainab turned slowly. Thank you. Chief Tunde studied her face. Do not thank me with words. Thank me with peace. Then he left. The door shut with a soft click. Zainab stood alone in the cool room, breathing in the faint smell of fresh paint and new fabric. Her old life felt far away already, too far, like a place she had only seen in a dream. She opened the phone box. Brand new iPhone. She laughed, then covered her mouth with both hands. Her heart was racing like she had run up a hill. That evening, she posted only one picture, just her hand near a glass table, the new phone in view, and the soft cream curtain behind it, no caption. She did not need one. By morning, people were already in her DM. Sis, what changed? Abuya finally opened? Soft life, babe. She smiled until her face hurt. At the salon, everything felt different. Even the generator noise sounded softer because she knew she would not sleep in heat that night. Even Mama Bisi's face looked smaller. Zainab dropped the money for the chair debt on the counter. Complete? Mama Bisi counted it twice. Her eyebrows lifted. So money came. Zainab adjusted her wig and smiled. Money has been around. It just found me late. Mama Bisi looked at her for a long second. Be careful when money finds you too fast. But Zainab was no longer in the mood for warnings. Not from Mama Bisi, not from anybody. She glanced at her cracked blue salon chair, the torn armrest. the tired form, the old stain on one side from relaxer cream. Yesterday, that chair had felt like survival. Today, it looks like insult. Amina came in late from a home service, face shiny from heat, tote bag hanging low. She stopped when she saw Zainab's phone. Her eyes moved from the phone to the new wig, then to the envelope receipt still on the counter. So it's true, Amina said quietly. Zainab shrugged. What is true? That you went. I went. I came back alive, as you can see. Amina stepped closer. Alive is not the only thing that matters. Zainab laughed, too sharp. Please, don't start sounding like old women in church. Amina's face did not move. Did he ask you to stop working here? Not yet. Not yet. The words hung there. Zainab hated how Amina said small things that grew teeth later. Still, she lifted her chin. As I paid my debt, Abby, isn't that what matters? Amina looked at the cracked chair, then back at her. Sometimes the thing you think you saved is the first thing you lose. That made Zainab angry because she did not fully understand it. So she snapped, You don't want me to rise. Just say that. Amina's mouth opened, then closed. The hurt on her face came and went fast. But Zainab saw it. You know me better than that, Amina said. Then she turned and went to her chair. For the rest of the day, Zainab pretended not to care. But she cared. She cared when people stared. She cared when two girls from the next shop came in just to greet her and inspect her bag. She cared when one client whispered, Some people just know how to position. She cared because it felt good, and that was the problem. By the second week, when the soft life had started moving fast, new wigs came. A gold chain, a better set of lashes, a trip to Lagos for one weekend in a hotel that smelled like white towels and expensive soap, a driver who opened doors, a salon video she posted from a bright place in Victoria Island, though she had only gone there for one day. The likes kept rising. Her old schoolmate from Instagram now replied to her stories. Madame Rowley sent laughing emojis and wrote, Welcome to the real city. Even Mama BC began calling her our big girl. But soft things were already turning hard. The first sign was small. One evening, while Zainab was with a client, a new phone buzzed 3 times in a row. Chief Tunde. She pressed reject once and finished attaching the frontal. 2 minutes later, the phone rang again. When she finally picked up, his voice was calm. Who is too calm? Why did you keep me waiting? I was working. You're always working when I call? No, sir. Just now. Silence. Then, leave there in 10 minutes. I have not finished this client. Leave there in 10 minutes. The line cut. Zainab stood frozen. The client stared at her in the mirror. Any problem? No problem. That was what she said. But there was a problem. She called Amina over and forced a smile. Abeg, help me finish this one. Emergency. Amina looked at her for 1 second too long. Him? Zainab did not answer. That night, Chief Tunde took her to dinner and bought her a bracelet she did not ask for. He spoke softly, fed her grilled fish, wiped sauce from his own thumb with a napkin. Anybody watching would think she had won in life. Then on the drive back, he said, Don't reject my call again. His eyes stayed on the road. I said I was with a client. I heard you the first time. His voice stayed gentle. That was the frightening thing. He never had to shout to make her feel small. Another week passed, then another. He began asking who she was with, even when she sent photos. Why are you there so long? Who is that in the background? Why are you wearing that? Who told you red lipstick is for the afternoon? At first, Zainab laughed about it. Even to herself, he just likes order. He is older. That is how older men act. He is spending money. You too would want respect. But one hot Tuesday afternoon, she opened her wardrobe and saw that three dresses were gone. She searched the room twice. Then she called his assistant, a quiet woman named Ifeoma. Ifeoma said, Sir asked that those clothes be removed. He said they invite the wrong kind of attention. Zainab went cold. Removed to where? Disposed. Disposed. As if her things were trash. That evening she faced Chief Tunde in the apartment living room. The AC was on, but sweat still sat on her back. Jollof rice she had not touched was getting cold on the table. The room smelled like pepper and silence. You threw away my dresses? Chief Tunde did not even look guilty. He loosened his scarf and sat down. They were not fit for the life you are entering. It was my choice. No, he said. You gave me that choice when you asked me to build this life around you. Zainab's mouth opened, then closed. I did not ask you to throw away my things. You asked for a better life, he said. Better lives come with rules. Then he looked at her fully. But do you want the old dresses back more than you want this apartment? The question felt like a trap because it was one. If she said yes, she would sound foolish. If she said no, she would be agreeing to something she hated. So she said nothing. He stood and touched her chin lightly. Not sweet, not rough, just enough to remind her he could. Learn this early, Zainab, he said. Comfort is not free, it is maintained. That night she could not sleep. The AC air felt too cold on her skin. The fine bed suddenly felt borrowed. She got up at 2 a.m. and sat on the floor with her knees to her chest. Her phone screen lit up with a message from Amina. You left your old comb here. Also, the chair Mama BC wanted to sell is still available. I may buy it alone. Pray for me. Zainab stared at the message. Then another one came. I know you're angry with me, but I'm opening a savings box tomorrow. If it works, one day I will leave that salon with my head high. Zainab read the message 3 times. Her chest tightened. Amina was still there, still sweating, still saving, still pushing one day after another with both hands. No car, no AC flat, no bracelets, no fake peace. And somehow, at 2 a.m., Amina sounded freer than she was. The next morning, Chief Tunde called before sunrise. Pack a bag, he said. We fly to Accra this afternoon. Zainab sat up. Today? I can't. I have 3 clients, one bride's touch-up, and? Zainab swallowed. And Amina needs me this evening. She wants to pay for a chair. I promised to stand with her. There was a pause. Not long, but enough. When Chief Tunde spoke again, his voice had gone flat. Cancel everything. Zainab held the phone tighter. Her hand was shaking now. No. Silence. Real silence this time. The kind that makes your ears ring. Then Chief Tunde asked very softly, What did you say? Zainab's throat went dry. On the phone, Chief Tunde waited. What did you say? He asked again. This time his voice had no warmth inside it. Zainab stood by the bed, one hand gripping the sheet so hard her knuckles hurt. Morning light was entering through the cream curtains. The AC was still on. The room still looked soft, but nothing inside her felt soft now. She swallowed. I said no. The silence after that felt like deep water. Then Chief Tunde gave a small laugh. Not happy, not surprised, just cold. You are learning confidence in my house, he said. Interesting. It's not about confidence. I already promised someone. Cancel the promise. No. Chief Tunde breathed in once, slowly. Zainab, he said, do not confuse comfort with power. The call ended. Zainab sat down hard on the bed. Her heart was beating fast. She could hear it in her ears. The room smelled like room spray and fear. For 1 second, she almost called back, almost said sorry, almost blamed network, almost blamed anything. That was her old problem. She loved fast rescue so much that she would bend herself just to keep it. But this time she did not call back. By noon, the first thing went wrong. Her driver did not come. She called him twice. No answer. Then her card stopped working at the supermarket. Then her new phone line went off for some minutes and came back. Then Ifeoma sent one message. Sir says remain indoors until further notice. Zainab stared at the words. Her skin went cold. Remain indoors, like she was a package, like she was something placed on a shelf. She called Amina. Amina picked on the second ring. Hello? Zainab tried to sound normal, but her voice broke at once. Amina. Amina went quiet for 1 second. What happened? I told him no. Amina let out a long breath. Not surprise, more like the thing she had feared had finally arrived. Where are you? At the apartment. Stay there for now. Lock your door. I'm coming after this client. Zainab sat on the floor after the call. Not on the sofa, on the floor. A fine rug fell rough under her legs. Suddenly, the whole place felt like a hotel room after checkout time, clean, cold, and ready to forget her. At 4 in the afternoon, the knock came. Not one knock, three hard knocks. She stood frozen. Then a man's voice spoke through the door. Open, please. Facility management. Her chest tightened. She opened the door halfway. Two men stood there with Ifeoma. Ifeoma looked neat as always. Calm blouse, flat face, tablet in hand. No shame, no anger, just work. Good afternoon, Ifeoma said. Zainab looked from her to the men. What is this? Ifeoma spoke as if reading weather news. Instruction has been given to retrieve company property. Company property. The word slapped her harder than Mama Bisi's voice had. What company property? The apartment lease, the vehicle, furnishings not personally assigned, devices purchased on executive account. Ifeoma looked at the tablet. Also, all pending utility charges from the past 2 months will be transferred to the occupant. The occupant? You. Zainab stepped back like the floor had moved. No, no, wait. The apartment was for me. Ifeoma finally looked at her properly. No, Zainab. The apartment was around you. That line hit deep because it was true. One of the men moved toward the TV. Zainab blocked him at once. Don't touch anything. The man stopped. Ifeoma did not. Please cooperate, Ifeoma said. It will reduce embarrassment. Embarrassment. As if embarrassment had not already entered the room and sat down. Zainab's hands were shaking now. Let me talk to Chief Tunde. Sir is in a meeting. Then tell him I want to see him. Ifeoma gave the smallest shrug. Sir says his answer has already been given. That was when the truth landed fully. This was the answer, not a fight, not a conversation, a clearing, a wipe, a lesson. Zainab grabbed her phone and called him anyway. It rang once, then switched off. Amina arrived while one of the men was carrying out the air fryer Zainab had never even used. Amina took in the open door, the boxes, the stripped room, the sound of tape tearing, the smell of dust rising from places furniture had covered. Then she saw Zainab's face. She did not say, I warned you. She only moved fast and held Zainab by both shoulders. Breathe, Amina said. Just breathe first. Zainab could not. Her mouth opened, but the air felt stuck halfway. Her chest was tight. Her fingers were cold. She thought she might faint right there between the TV stand and the dining table. Amina pulled her to the torn curtain near the wall and made her sit. Look at me. Zainab looked. Ain. Zainab breathed in. Out. She breathed out. Again. Again. The room kept emptying. The cream curtains were taken down. The standing mirror went. One of the shopping bags she used to love was now lying flat, like dead skin. The apartment lost its beauty little by little, and each missing thing showed her the real shape of the lie. Madame Rowley called while the men were removing the microwave. Zainab stared at the name and answered at once. Ma, please talk to him. Please. Madame Rowley was quiet, too quiet. Then she said, I heard. He's clearing everything. I know. You know? Another pause. When Madame Rowley spoke again, her voice had changed. Less perfume, more truth. I should have left that life years ago, she said. Instead, I stayed close and started bringing girls. That is how I kept my own bills paid. Zainab felt sick. You used me? I used myself first, Madame Rowley said. Then I used whoever stood near me. Zainab closed her eyes. That was the second truth. Not everybody wearing shine was free. Some people were just decorating their cage. I'm sorry, Madame Rowley said softly. But sorry is a late bus. The call ended. By evening, the apartment looked like a mouth with missing teeth, bare walls, dust lines, it returning now that the AC unit had been disabled. On the kitchen counter sat one final envelope, utility arrears, service charges, outstanding balance, her name, her debt. When the men left, Zainab stood in the middle of the empty room with the silver key in her hand. The same key that had once looked like freedom. Now it felt cheap. Now it felt sharp. Amina took it gently from her and placed it on the counter. A key that opens one room can still lock your life, Amina said. Zainab started crying then. Not pretty crying, not movie crying, deep crying, the kind that bends your body, the kind that leaves mucus on your face and shame in your mouth. I am a fool, she whispered. Amina shook her head. No, you are hungry. That is worse. No, Amina said. It is just easier to trap. That night Zainab slept on Amina's floor. The room was small and hot. The ceiling fan made a tired sound. Somebody outside fried akara late into the night, and the smell of oil drifted in. Amina gave her one wrapper and one pillow and took the mat near the door for herself. Zainab lay awake staring into darkness. I treated you badly, she said at last. Amina did not answer for some seconds. Then, yes, the honesty hurt, but it also calmed her. I was proud. Yes. I thought you were jealous. I was scared. Zainab turned on the wrapper. Why did you still come? Amina let out a small breath. Because I wanted my own place with peace, not alone. That line broke something open in Zainab. In the dark, with the fan chopping warm air above them, friendship came back in small pieces. Not because one speech fixed it, not because pain suddenly made them saints, but because both of them were tired of pretending. The next morning, Zainab went back to the salon, not because she felt strong, because she had nowhere else to go. The road dust touched her slippers. The sun sat hot on her neck. When she entered the salon, the smell of relaxer and breath spray hit her at once. Too familiar, too honest. Two girls from the next shop looked up and smirked. Our big baby's back. She soft life don't end. They laughed. Zainab felt the words like pepper on open skin. Mama BC looked at her for a long moment. Then she pointed. Your old chair is there. Zainab turned. The cracked blue chair sat in the corner. Same tear in the armrest. Same tired form. Same stain on one side. But it did not look like insult now. It looked like the one thing that had waited. Her throat tightened. Amina came beside her and placed a hand on the chair. I bought it yesterday, Amina said. Mama BC agreed to sell. We own it now. 50-50 if you want. Zainab stared at her. After all this? Amina gave a tired smile. Slow money, remember? Zainab laughed through tears. Then she touched the cracked armrest with her fingertips. Rough leather, broken edge, warm from the room. For the first time, how she did not hate it. I want, she said. And that was how the real work began. Not with a miracle, with a chair, with long days, with feet that hurt, with hands that smelled of mousse, oil sheen, and braid gel every evening, with transport money counted twice, with customers who paid late and customers who became loyal, with Zainab learning to say no, even when her stomach feared the answer. Months later, she and Amina moved from one chair to two, then from one corner to one tiny shop. The signboard was not fancy. The paint even ran a little when rain came early that year. But the rent receipt carried both their names, and nobody could clear them out with one angry phone call. Years passed, not like a magic jump, like work, like sore backs, like market mornings and supplier stress, like laughing when the generator finally started after 10 useless pulls, like crying one night because business was slow, then waking up and opening anyway. Amina handled books better. Zainab handled branding better. She learned to make short videos that were true, not fake. Real wigs, real clients, real prices, real growth. One afternoon, 3 years later, a young girl entered their bigger studio in Gwarimpa. She looked about 20, fine face, tired eyes, expensive phone, empty spirit. She sat in the waiting area and asked in a low voice, Auntie, how do people really blow in this Abuha? Zainab looked at her for a long second. Outside, rain tapped softly on the roof. Inside, the studio smelled like clean shampoo and warm pressing comb metal. Amina was in the back arguing with the supplier over voice notes. A client laughed near the dryer. Life was still messy. Bills still came. Peace still needed work. Zainab did not rush her answer. She placed her hand on the old cracked chair they had kept near the entrance, not for use now, but as a memory. Then she said, Anything that dies when you say no is too expensive. The girl went quiet. Zainab smiled a little and added, Come, sit. Let me wash your hair first. We can talk while I walk. And this time, when she touched the old chair, it no longer felt like shame. It felt like a witness. It had seen her hunger. It had seen her fall. Now it was seeing her stand. Comment Part 2.